here we are, Dice Miner. This was a Kickstarter. And it's a really interesting sort of dice drafting game. So let's just take a look at this, where you get to play a character. You don't get to use the characters in the solo mode, but you do get to play it. You do get to use them in the multiple player mode. Unfortunately, the solo mode that we'll be playing right now will not reflect the game itself, because the solo mode is completely different. But I think it looked still pretty interesting. It's fairly straightforward. 7-page rulebook. Can't beat that. Solo rules. Keep those handy. Here are the different characters you can choose when you're playing multiple players. What they do is give you some like die faces that you can use during your turn. The cool little mountain that we will need to quickly build, I think, but hopefully it won't give us too much trouble. We'll just punch that out, and we will also need to punch that out. All right.
Thank you for the Prime subs, Zenbai.
Ah, man, I set up... Thanks for saying that, Jimbo. I set up notifications. They didn't pop up. That's unfortunate. I'll have to check and see why that did not happen. The other side, this is like the back brace for the cool little mountain that we're building. We'll throw that out just in case I use it. And then all of the dice, which there are plenty. And a score sheet. We'll put that over there because we're going to have, there's another little tiny box that we're going to use. I think it's supposed to come with a dry erase board. We'll take a look. So this is like the little backer pack that came with the people that kickstarted it. This was supposed to come with, actually, why talk about it? Why not just show you? All right.
Oh shit, raiding party inbound.
Good thing you're here. This streaming thing that lets me go on YouTube and Twitch at the same time is not giving me any notifications at all. So hello everyone. Hey, it's Scrappy. How is Scrappy today? Scrappy, we just finished, for all those that just came in from Scrappy, we just finished playing Quest for El Dorado, and now we are unboxing Dice Miner, and I'm going to play a quick solo game. So these you are not to add to your game. These are just a set of D6s that you can, add to other games, or just, just extra D6s with, the Dice Miner theme to it. Some extra heroes that you'll have for your multiplayer games. And like I said, a dry erase with multiplayer and solo, and a dry erase marker, which we will be able to use. We'll put that somewhere over here. So I'll go over these dice very quickly while I load them into the bag here. These are the tool dice. These are going to save us from the hazards, which are here. The hazards are cave-ins and dragons. These come with picks and shields. Picks for the cave-in, shields for the dragons, and chests for other things, which we'll get into later. These are the hazard dice. They have dragons on them and cave-ins, different numbers of each. All of the dice have mugs on them, which means wild. So when you choose them, you get to set them to whatever you like. Like I said, some of these have different they have different things depending on, the solo mode and so these are the magic dice. We're going to set 3 of these aside, because in the solo mode you start with 3, not so much in the normal game. These are going to let us burn some dice from the mountain. In the multiplayer game, they let you re-roll dice. These are gems. I just heard another noise. Is that something else, Jimbo? Jimbo, my helper.
I don't see anything else.
Anything else? Okay. These are gem dice. these will get us more points. In this particular mode, we're going to team them up with the tool dice. Either we can have them. Got it. We can put them in the chest as we get them, which will double their amount, or they can just be by themselves for how many ever are on the face. And then all of these. With these, what we're trying to do is get runs. All runs must start with a 1 and go to 5. And when we take them off the mountain, we have to take them in order. So we have to make sure we get a 1 first. And so on and so forth. All right. Bear with me while I quickly try to assemble this mountain. So there was a deluxe tier that you could get that came with a funky plastic mountain, but I decided I actually, believe it or not, didn't get the deluxeified version, because although it looks interesting, I'm trying to gear myself back a little bit from
Did it like cause you physical damage not to buy the deluxe edition?
It really did, because you had this giant, it was actually like a real like textured mountain, and on the Kickstarter page it showed you, some that people had painted, and so it was like
suffered a little HP damage trying to be responsible.
Exactly. All right. Be good to me, because people are. All right, that wasn't terrible. All right, how can I have this that it won't? You can see that pretty good. Is there a way that I can set this up that it won't go crashing every time? My idea was to use this box to do such things. Is that going to work? It will. All right. So this is how this works. It works in the solo mode, and let me shake these up a lot because all of those white dice are on top. What you do is you load the mountain every time. In the multiplayer mode, you're going to play 3 rounds, and everyone takes turns drawing off the mountain to build their dice pool, and you use chests to keep dice and stuff like this. But in the solo mode, we're sort of doing solitaire off the mountain, and we get 2 reloads, which we will use these 2 cards to keep track of, where at any time we can just reload the mountain back up. We can use these magic dice here. Pardon the crazy noise it's going to make. So we burn these dice, and we can remove dice off the top of the mountain if they're blocking what we need. The story behind the name of our podcast and the channel is sort of a disclaimer. That way we can never be held accountable, because we told you right off the beginning that we're wrong.
It may also partially be related to Mark's original YouTube channel, which was called All the Games You Like Are Bad.
All right. Actually, do we get more dice? I think we get 2 more. All right, so that was useful because we got the 1. So can that be seen all right? That seems pretty good. Let's just center it up a little bit. So in the multiplayer game, we take turns mining. So this would be the mining phase. We can only take dice off the top. And if you had any of these beer tokens in your pool, you could give them to other players, which lets you take 2 dice. And with that particular action, you can actually take them off the side as well. These aren't, probably have to form that up a little bit better. Working fine. So like I said, as in the solo mode, we can take this dice off the top because it's a 1. And these gems we can take at any time. But if we had, this is when you take it, this is when you have to decide whether you're going to put them into chests. And we have no chests here, even on the pool, never mind locked, so we're just going to take them as the points that they show. This is more magic for later if we need to burn dice. So like I said, that's just going to be straight up 5 points at the end of the game. You can see, actually, I'll bring this up a little closer and then you can see it, or is the glare too bad? If I hold it at an angle. So you can see whenever we take hazards, we already have to have the shields in place to block them. So if we had a shield out, we can take dragons. If we have tools out, we can take cave-ins at a one-to-one basis, not the symbols, but dice. And then it says here, like it says here, we can take any gems we want. Gems that are in chests are doubled, and then runs are worth 5 points each if we get them from 1 to 5. In the normal game, runs will be you add up all the pips that are in the run, so you don't have to have a complete run in the actual game, but they do have to start at 1. So we really need that 2 out of there because we can't take it. So we need to burn that 4. And you have to use all of the magic symbols. So we need to burn 2 dice if we take this. And we want to keep the 3. So I say we burn the hazard. So we burn this magic die, it goes right out of the game, which lets us take 2 dice off the mountain. So we're going to take this 4 off and this hazard off. And they go back in the bag. And now we can take this 2, because you can only take the white dice if they continue the run, and the 3, and we can take this beer dice because we're allowed to set it to whatever we want. So we take the beer dice and we set it to a 4, and that will allow us to take one of these 5s. I think the smart one to take would be this one because it will unlock the other mug, which we will take and start our new run of 1. We will take this tool. That will allow us to take a single cave in. Later, we'll take this green mug and we'll set it to a shield because we have a nice big dragon sitting there, which we will take now. And the only reason we can take it is because we have this shield, and we place it right on top, like so, to show that that shield is done now. I'll actually just move it up here out of the way. We can take this. And so we have this. We might as well take it now and set it to the maximum cave-in because we have a tool sitting there. I think the maximum cave-in is 3. So we'll take that and we'll put it on the tool. We'll set it aside. Can't take the 5s because they don't add to our run. So that's us done. We'll use one of our mountain refills. And we refill the mountain. All right. This is what I get for using that tool right away. We've got that hazard right on top. So we can take this. Let me just check and make sure. Sorry about this. I just want to see if are we allowed to start as many runs as we want? Or do we have to finish a run before we start another one? Tunnel dice. The white ones are called tunnel dice. You can always draft a tunnel dice showing a 1. There we go. So we can always start new ones. So we might as well do that. Draft that. Set it to a 1. Take the 2. Take the 3. Take the magic. Then I think we have no choice but to burn some dice. So we burn 2. We'll burn this hazard. And we might as well burn that 3, because we have no 2s anywhere. The only way we can get a 2 is this mug, and it's locked unless we get rid of this 3. So we'll burn that 2. And then we can take that. Set it to a 2. Do we want to set it to a 2?
You don't want to set it to a 4 and take the 5?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at to see what we get later on. So we'll set it to a 4. Because, like you said, we got a bunch of 5s coming. So we'll save it for now. We can always take that one at any time. We'll take this, and believe it or not, I think I'm going to set it to a 1. Because a lot of times we had dice that we didn't want to burn. We have tons of 2s. We could go as high as a 3 magic to burn 3 dice at once. But I think just for this time, we'll set it to a 1. Then we get this. Then we finally get some chests. So from now on, we can now lock, since this is a 3 chest, I think there's a 2 chest as well. So there's a 2 or a 3. So now we can, whenever we take these yellow dice now, we can set up to 3 dice into here, and it will double their amount. But we can't do it to any of these because we've already taken these. So something like this. We'll take this one, say, and we'll set that to a 3. And that'll be worth 6 points. And then we have another 1. And we might as well take this 5. Now the question is, we have quite a few magic dice left. We only can refill the mountain one more time. Now we could just refill on top of this, but we're going to be losing out on all these potential dice we could get. Or do we want to like burn some of them out of here? Like burn 4, keep these 2 dice for emergencies later, and that'll be 4 dice extra that we could get next round. I think
Might as well at least burn 2 and take the mug, right?
yeah, let's do that. We'll burn these 2. This is out of the game. We burn these 2. That gets us the mug, which we will set to a 2. Then we will use our last refill. Or do we want to burn 2 more dice? I just can't see us burning 5 dice next round. I'm going to chance it. That's out of the game. Let's burn this one and this one. That also being said, it puts it back in the bag, right? So there's now a chance to just draw it again. But we'll see. All right. Let's fill this up. See what we get. All right. So looking at what we have, we are in some trouble because we need 3 tunnel dice and we have 0 showing. We have 2 mugs down here that we would have to burn these 4s to get to. All bad. So many tunnel dice. And then at least we have 2 tools that we can use on these 2. All right, so let's get going. First things first, we need to burn 2 dice to even start. That gets rid of these 2. Then we can take this magic. We can take this 1. And we might as well put this in the vault because there are no more yellows even out there. So many 4s and no 3s. So we burn 1 die, which will be this 4. That gets this, which we will set to a 3. Now, I think we might as well leave that 4 there for now. We'll get down to this 4 first, because that's what we need to unlock another mug. But I don't think there's any way we're going to get all the way up to 5, because these don't score in solo mode unless you get them right to 5. So I don't think it's going to matter. So let's burn this last magic die, which will get rid of these dragons. And we'll take these. Tools. Who knows? And then we can take this 2. And now we will take that 4. There's 2 4s blocking mugs. But that's okay. Since we got that mug, we can make it another 3. Which will now let us take this 4. Now this 5. And cave in with that tool. Cave in with this tool. This 5. And this is nice, but it's not going to get us to 5. But we'll do it anyway. We'll make this a 2. And this one, well, we cleared the mountain on the last one, so it's not terrible. And then, like I said, you see that? These partially, I'll just fill it out quickly and then. So for dragons, we have a die here that's 4 times 1, so like per pip, so that's 4 points. And then we have 3, 4, 5, we have 7 cave-ins. And they're each worth a point each. So 7 points for that. Gems not in chests. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points. Gems in chest. 4 times 2 is 8. Complete runs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them, which will be 20 points. And that's it. So 28, 35, 42, 46. 46 points. Let's bring that up so you can sort of see how it works. And then there's a little chart in the solo rules. It'll tell you based on how many points you got, what your standing is. So it says 45 to 50 is average, given the excellence of the average dwarf, a worthwhile feat. So that's Dice Miner. I think you're full of